Welcome back to another episode of Durarara. So in the previous episode, we ended it on one hell of a cliffhanger once again. I feel like I've been saying this so much because recently they've gotten so comfortable with just leaving us off on these insane cliffhangers. So you better not do that again. Actually, today, you can do it today. Don't do it tomorrow because I'm gonna have to wait like 5 more days tomorrow after tomorrow's episode. So today, I can allow it. Tomorrow, don't you dare. Anyways, in the previous episode, we saw Sonohara is the actual OG Saika, or she has the mother Saika, if you will. And she's been kind of able to tame it, I guess, kind of keep it down, you know, which is insane. But we saw that Saika is the reason for her parents' death. Now, there were some questions that I had about the entire thing that happened with those parents, but obviously that's gonna be answers for the future. So the show is gonna answer it in the future. But like my questions were, why did Saika actually, why was it able to actually kill people in the entire like accident situation with the parents, and why right now does it not kill people? It never kills people nowadays. It only turns them into like mindless puppets or small Saikas, right? Or I guess offsprings, if you will. And also, well, actually, now that I think about it, there's 3 possible ways to utilize Saika's power, it seems like, right? We saw Saika being able to cut souls with Salty, which I feel like is different from making an offspring, right? So it has the power to cut souls. It obviously can just straight up kill people, like we saw with Anri's parents, and also the third one being it can create offsprings. So I want to know more about that entire dynamic and how that works, you know? So we'll see once that gets explained, because there's still so many things that we need answers to. But yeah, that was insane. Like, I love how Haruna was like introduced as this like really creepy like persona with like one of the creepiest smiles, definitely the creepiest smile that we saw in the show, apart from Takashi's. So yeah, and she was introduced as this like really interesting character, and then she was saying how, oh yeah, I'm the OG Saika, what are you gonna do about it? And then Anri was like, oh yeah, bet, what's this then? And showed her the OG katana. Dude, oh my god, she called her bluff so hard, and that was such a treat to see. Like, just the bluff, just the smile from Haruna's face disappearing in that instant when Sonohara pulled out the katana, closed her eyes, opened them again, it's the red eyes. I'm getting hyped just thinking about it. It was such a good scene. Such a good scene. Oh my god. Yeah, I ended that episode. I couldn't sleep because my heart was pumping so hard just thinking about it, like hours after the episode. It was such a hype, incredible episode, man. I want to see some kind of justice being brought towards Takashi, because god, he's just horrible, right? So he's like the worst one, the worst character. Shingen is like a saint compared to Takashi. But anyways, I want to see some justice towards like whatever he's done and his victims, you know? Even Haruna is definitely like, well, I want to know more about like how Haruna actually felt before being possessed by Saika, right? Because she's been saying, oh, how much she loved Takashi and stuff like that. But I want to know if she feels that way only because of Saika, or if how much of like her feelings are actually her own feelings and stuff like that. I want to know more about that, but we'll see as time goes on, right? Yeah, anyways, was there anything more that I wanted to say about it? We also saw like Shizuo and Salty being surrounded by all of the mini Saikas or Saika offsprings. So it seems like the city is kind of like in a Saika or slasher, I guess, slasher apocalypse right now, because it's kind of like a zombie apocalypse but with slashers. So I don't know what's gonna happen. So the hypothesis was that we need to destroy the mother Saika, which would be Sonohara. So I don't know, but what also, how can you wake a person up from being an offspring, a slasher? We don't know any of those things, right? So we also don't know what happened with Shuji and stuff like that. So all of those questions are gonna get answered sooner rather than later. So let's see it. Anyways, if you want to watch this uncut and unblurred, it's gonna be on my Patreon, which is down in the description. And let's go into Durarara episode 17. Oh, don't give me backstory because it's so sad. The scream. God, the animation is so good. Whoa! Whoa! That's the correct one. Wait, the animation in this episode is insane. Wow. Shadow. They're just made out of shadow, right? Because pretty sure was it Izaya who said that if you shine the light on it, she would practically be naked, right? The mutability of life. We saw the mom holding the blade at some point. Okay, she can do it. Okay, great. Good, good, good. I was not expecting that. That was whiplash. I'm gonna go back 5. I'm not gonna say anything. That was just whiplash. And we're gonna just suffer through this. Okay. Okay, Shizuo, I'm gonna stop you for a second there. Obviously, I'm not gonna actually comment on the actual dad. Fuck that guy. But if I understand correctly, the mom always did actually love Sonohara. Both of them, they were victims to the dad, right? And that entire thing at the end, I feel like was partially obviously Saika wanting to slash, but also I feel like it is the mother actually doing the things that she wanted to do, right? And her saying "I love you" at the end, I feel like that was, I don't know. I don't know if I want to say sincere, but at least partially also mother's towards not just purely Saika, right? Towards Andri. Wow. As I said, this is the first time that we saw actually Saika actually killing people instead of just transforming them or cutting their souls. So that's interesting. But my guess is that if you want to kill someone with like Saika, or Saika wants to kill someone, you can. It's just that if you would usually want them to be a offspring. If you want them to be an offspring, you just have to cut them a little bit. That's why she doesn't kill them. But if you like commit a, or like if you make a wound that's bad enough or lethal, then they're gonna die no matter what. They're just gonna end up dying. But I do wonder if we're gonna go more into the specifics of how the power of Saika actually works. Jesus fucking Christ, Andri is a tragic fucking character. Shuzo is so cool. Ora, ora, ora! He's so cool. So cool. Wow, I love this guy. Wait, did he say in front of people who don't love me? Oh, who love me. Okay.
人を愛する心が足りないから、ずっとこの声を聞き続けられるんです。ずっとずっと客観的に。
Is that why she's always so absent from every conversation? Ooh! Nice. That was so uncomfortable, man. That entire scene with Sonohara. She's so tragic.
そいつは前に俺に切りつけてきてな。問題にならないよう転校させてたんだ。まだ諦めて。
Salty? I had her transferred, he said.
アンリ、一緒に逃げよう。
Don't you dare fucking touch her. Thank you, Henry.
お前には目をかけてやっただろう。そうだ、ハリマだ。ハリマと同じクラスになれたのは誰のおかげだと。その借りはもう返しました。返したって、今のでか。私は黒バイクさんが切り裂き魔だと思ってました。だから先生が襲われるんだと思って、無我夢中で先生を助けたくって。先生が好きだったからじゃありません。先生への借りは絶対に返しておきたかったから。何の話だ。先生はどうして黒バイクさんに追われていたんですか。一体何をやったんですか。あ、こいつあの時の。
Oh! Whoa!
あの時の。
He is? From episode 5? That's Takashi? When we first saw the slasher? That's Takashi! And do you remember? Wait. Who was it in front of Shuji? Was it Shizuo and... It was Shizuo and Salte, right? In front of Shuji, who were like, oh yeah, let's go get the teacher who's like molesting the students or whatever, right? They mentioned him. So that's... We also saw that with Salte going... So that was... Oh! Oh! Because I was like, in that moment, I was like, well, we never saw Salte and Shizuo actually interact with the teacher, so we don't know if they actually mean him and stuff. But we did. We saw it here. I just didn't realize that was Takashi in episode 5. Whoa! Yeah, sir.
いいえ、私は煮江川先輩とは違います。私は先生のこと大嫌いです。
You're such a Chad. Such a Chad. Respect. Bro.
そういえば、今月の電撃文庫の新刊って何出ましたっけ。レディボトとこの車使って悪いことはできねえな。どれ。ああ、そうだ。キノの旅って新章に突入して。
Kino's journey?
シズの旅とか出ないかな。サモエド仮面がこんなに。ユマサキに頼んだらこうなるのが分かってたのによ。スピンオフとか。あれ、トゴサさん顔赤い。熱でもあるんじゃないですか。やめてー。
Poor guy.
大したことないから。マサオミに聞いてびっくりしたよ。本当に大丈夫なの？で、その
Also, I didn't mention it, but did you see the switch up in Sonohara's face when she was like, because I love you? She was smiling, saying because, and then she instantly locked in, no smile, and just like cold, I love you.
さっき帰りました。何か用があるって。たくん、こんな時に何の用だよ。本当に何もないから。警察には話したの？園原さん。
It's been a while, Mikado.
大勢被害に遭ったって。もういいんです。よくないよ。多分もう何も起こらないような、そんな気がするんです。どうして？ごめんなさい。実は怪我をする何時間か前にも一回切り裂き魔に襲われてたんです。その時いろんな人が助けてくれて、その中にかっこいい人がいて。かっこいい人？何この展開。サングラスをかけたバーテンさんと。
Shizuo.
それってまさか静雄さん？もう一人の人がすごくかっこよくて。
Salty.
驚かないでくださいね。
Mm.
こんなこと信じてもらえませんよね。信じるというか、
Seeing Sonohara act like this?
その後襲われた時もまた首なしライダーさんが助けてくれたんです。だからもう大丈夫だと思うんです。いや、だからあの人は言えない。だってそれを言ったら、いやでもああいう人たちは僕たちの日常とはずっと遠くにいる人たちだから、あんまり関わらない方が。龍ヶ峰君、この世で本当の非日常って何だと思いますか？何も起こらないこと、毎日毎日同じことの繰り返しで何も起きない、何も変わらない、それが本当の。この子は知り合いの医者に見せる。安心してくれ。セルティさん、私。謝るな。自分が正しいと思うことをやったんだろう。実際あの場じゃあれが正しいと思う。まあ首を飛ばすのはやりすぎだとは思うが、それは最下に文句を言うとしよう。
Back all the way back then. So it was her silhouette. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
戦っても勝てる気がしないだけだ。もし納得できないというなら、君が手に入れた力をこの町のためのボランティア活動に使ってくれ。彼女は力を手に入れた。100人を超える最下の集団を意のままに操れる力。その力を彼女は重荷に感じた。だがそれは彼女が望んでいたことでもあった。宙をふらふらと浮いていた自分が人の運命を
She wanted some responsibility.
地面にしっかりと
Yep.
足をつけたような気が
Yep,
した。
yep, yep, yep. The responsibility kind of anchored her in reality, right?
その時声が聞こえた。あな
サイカ
たのことは愛せないけど嫌いじゃない。聞こえたような気がしただけかもしれない。問い返しても返事はなかった。だがそれでよかった。ほんの少しだけ嬉しくなった。彼女は今やっと日常に戻ってきた。
So that's the reason why she's so much more expressive, so much more human.
本当のことを彼らには言えない。災禍のことも、この事件の黒幕のことも。すべての災禍を滑る存在になった彼女は、彼らから三重川春菜の記憶をたどり、その存在を知った。目的はわからない。だがもしその人物が帝や正臣、自分たちの平穏を壊そうというのなら、不安と決意にまみれながら、彼女は黒幕の名前を思い出した。その名は折原イザヤって、やっぱりおかしな名前。
That's the least surprising name ever. That's the most expected one. He's controlling everything. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We already know that he's controlling the slasher and stuff. Yeah. He also not. Okay. Okay. Oh.
いや、それにしてもあるっていう前提で調べると結構あるもんだね。妖刀とか妖精とかさ。
Oh.
そう。本当に偶然だったのは、那須島が俺の金を取って逃げた時。借金に追われていた那須島は、かつて自分のストーカーだった家川春菜の親をゆすり、金を作ろうとした。闇金の元締め、アワクス会から紹介され、春菜の家族に
アワクス。
ためにうちに来て、どうも。用意した餌にまんまと食いついた。
We saw this, didn't we? Maybe. I don't actually know if we did. Yeah, we saw this. This is what we saw, yes. Oh!
んでくれたら最高だったんだけど。まあいっか。狙い通り、ことは運んでくれたわけだし。狙い通り？なんすか、俺の人より。増えたね、警察の人たち。マスコミも大騒ぎっすよ。南池袋公園でもなんかあったんだよね。あっちはただのどつき合いだと。切り裂き魔じゃないんすか？結局何だったんだろう。あのおじさんもよくわからないみたいだったし。催眠術でもかかったみたいに何にも覚えてないんだ。
Poor guy. Caught in the crossfire.
警察はカラーギャング同士の抗争と見てるようだ。警察だけじゃないっすよ。
The dollars, the yellows. So yeah, the yellow scarves. Oh. The yellow scarves are like the main plot line that I'm interested in now.
これってダラーズのリーダーっすかね。落ち着け、ミカド。それで何があなたの狙いなの？これで町はダラーズと黄金族、妖刀軍団の3つに分かれたわけだ。
Yo! Kida Mikado in Sonohara. Yo! And Izaya at the top, pulling the strings.
しばらく放っておけば、その火種がくすぶってくすぶって。俺はもう待ちきれないよ。
Same.
でも、黄金族って中学生のガキが作ったんでしょ。
Yo! Kida!
そんなに大したもの？ガキのくせしてあれだけの人数をまとめるってのが。
It's time. It's time for that plotline.
黄金族の将軍とも、俺は知らない仲じゃない。
Yeah, we all know that one. Here he is.
引き戻さないでくれ。そうですよ。好き放題やりやがって。やっぱ俺たち先輩がいないと話になんねえっす。先輩じゃねえ、将軍だろうが。すみません。いいっていいって。今の俺は将軍なんてもんじゃねえ。ただの平民。つうか、ただの高校生。そう、ただの高校生でいたかったんだ。俺は俺の平凡を手に入れたわけよ。仲のいいやつに囲まれて適度にデンジャラスな生活をよ。それをぶっ壊しやがって。許せねえ。アンリに手を出したのは本当に許せねえ。たとえ何人いようが切り裂き魔は絶対に潰す。もしもダラーズが中にいるってならその時はダラーズを潰せ。俺を引き戻しやがって。畜生。畜生。
Oh, that's so insane because like none of the friends actually know who's behind it. They're trying to. Well, I'm gonna talk after the ending. Okay, so many things. So many things. So it feels like the slasher arc is semi over, or at least the arc that was solely, I guess, focused on the slasher is now over because now we're gonna be going into more of the yellow scarves arc. It seems like. So let's talk about the entire Andre situation. She is... Wait, before I say this, she's definitely one of the most tragic characters in the show. I don't want to say the most tragic one because I'm probably forgetting someone, but yeah, definitely that's insane. That's just straight up insane. So that was 5 years ago that she ended up, well, the slasher ended up killing them, which would mean she was probably about like around 10, right? When that happened. So 10 years of constant abuse that she lived in. And then Saika came in and freed her from the household there. And it seemed like it possessed the mother, and then the mother killed the father, and then killed herself. And I wonder, yeah, as I said, I wonder how much her own will was present in that moment, right? I wonder how much her own will affected the outcome of that situation. Because I feel like her love towards Sonohara is the reason why she ended up killing herself instead of actually killing Sonohara. I could be reading the situation wrong, but that's how I read it, right? And then Sonohara took the sword. And now I really like... So, okay, we got answers to what happens to the people that have been turned into a minion of Saika, right? We got the answer to that because they said that the Saika hypnosis or personality mentality, whatever it is, the Psycha soul or whatever is still residing within all of those people. It's just that right now it's dormant until the actual mother Psycha, so that would mean the OG, the Anri, until she basically says, hey, it's time to rise. It's just like arise, and then everyone starts, being under her control. So right now they're dormant until she needs their power, which feels kind of immoral, but like, you know what? I mean, you have a bunch of like zombies on your side whenever you need them, even though they're actual real people. You're basically toying with real people's bodies, right? Because if you basically you're forcing them to fight for you, right? Without them actually having control over their body. So morally, definitely the worst one of the three when it comes to like pure morality of the leader. Or I guess pure morality of the actions of the leader, because the other two are actually organized gangs that actually are working off of people trusting the leader and actually believing in what they're doing. The other one is just forcing their body to do stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. It is Sonohara, so you can't really expect her to be completely, okay, normal, if you will. But the other thing that I was gonna say is, what was it again? Remind me, what was I? Oh, this. I really like how they were like the responsibility of taking, well, yeah, I guess they did address that kind of in this, what I just said earlier. The responsibility of having 100 lives in your own hands grounded her as a person, made her feel more human, right? Which I really, really like. And then you can immediately tell how she felt more human in the conversation with Mikado, right? Because she was a lot more, talking a lot more emotionally about the entire thing that happened, a lot more happy, showing like the emotion that she was feeling in the actual conversation, which was one of the first times or if not the first time that we heard her speak this full of emotion about anything, right? Which honestly, that got me emotional, just hearing her seem actually genuinely happy talking about something or passionate talking about something, which was such a cool scene. And then, yeah, as I said, saying that having a responsibility of over 100 people in your hands is what grounded her. It kind of acts as an anchor for her humanity and making her realize, oh, I am basically like a human. She actually feels like a human now, which is really, really cool. And then obviously the last part of the episode being, well, second to last part, I should say, is Sonohara saying that she has the memories of Haruna and she knows that who's pulling the string. She knows that Izaya is the one who's puppeteering all of the sides, all three sides, right? So the three sides being the dollars, yellow scarves, and the slasher, right? So he's puppeteering all of them, and Sonohara knows that. Now, I wonder what that's gonna actually mean. I don't know. But also, at the very, very end of the episode, we saw that Kida has joined back as the leader of the Yellow Scarves. Now, the interesting thing is, all three of the friends here that are leaders of their own side, gang, whatever, they all care so much about each other and they want to protect one another, but they don't know that all of them are like kind of like on opposing sides, so especially Kida, I feel like Kida is definitely the most hostile one when it comes to the Yellow Scarves, be like him wanting to actually go to war with the slasher and the dollars, right? So I feel like that's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna actually eventually end up going. I mean, Izaya's getting what he wants. He just wants the battlefield, right? I'm guessing all of this, the reason why he's doing all of this here is purely to see if Salty awakens or not on a battlefield. So I wonder what's gonna happen with that. And once again, I do have to question, why does Izaya want to know that? Like, what is him going through this much trouble? Is it pure curiosity, or is there more to that? Like, is it genuinely him doing all of those things that he's been doing all this time? Is it purely just pure curiosity, or is there anything more that is to like his ambition? Does he want anything else? I don't know, but those are the things that I'm interested in. Yeah, what else? I feel like there were more things that happened in this episode that I want to talk about. Takashi got off way easy. Like, he got off way too easy. Like, we saw some stuff happening. So not only is he a pedo, not only is he basically stalking the girl and getting her address and basically, like, okay, it doesn't matter if where he got the address from. Yeah, Izaya gave him the address, but he still decided to go to Anri's place when he knew that she's, well, home alone, obviously, right? In the middle of the night. Like, fuck that guy. So he's just a horrible, and not only those things, but also he ended up asking for the second that he felt even slightly afraid of Haruna, he ended up asking, you know what? She should get transferred to another school, not realizing that he's been making her feel scared and cornered and fucking horrified all this time. And he's like, oh, actually, you're actually making me feel a bit uncomfortable here. So actually, I'm gonna transfer you to a different school. Shit. And not only that, that's not the last thing. The final thing that he also did is he stole money from Izaya. He stole money. So, I mean, Izaya obviously expected it, but that doesn't change the fact that the intention to steal money was there, right? Oh my god, yeah, he's by far the worst character. You know what? Rivaled by the dad from Sonohara. He's a close second, you know. But yeah, horrible. Fucking hell, man. And then third is the dad from Rio. Rio's dad, you know. He would be the third place, you know. And then Shingen, probably. I'm probably missing someone, but yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. Oh, my voice is getting hoarse because of how much I've been passionately ranting about this. So hopefully my rants actually made sense, because I don't even know what I was saying for the past half an hour. But oh my fucking god, what an intense episode once again. This one was definitely a lot more depressing when it comes to the tones, a lot more heavy because of the entire Sonohara situation, and just Takashi being on screen makes my blood boil. But I'm glad that got resolved, and I'm glad of about the direction of Sonohara's character, right? I'm really happy with how she's becoming more human, in a sense, in air quotations, right? So I really like that, but we'll see how it's actually gonna end up developing as time goes on, right? But and yeah, I really like the callbacks to episode 5 of like the slasher. Oh yeah, that's the final thing. Then I'm gonna end it, I swear. I really like the fact that they called back the entire thing when I had a theory about, oh, is that silhouette actually Anri because her hair looks a lot like Anri, and then one of the slashers looked like Haruna. And yes, that's correct. I wasn't sure. I got actually kind of bamboozled at one point, like during like the last episode or whatever, when they were introducing a lot, like saying how there's so many different slashers. I was like, oh, it could just be one random slasher, one random person who kind of has a similar hairstyle as Anri. It didn't have to actually be Anri, but here in this episode it got confirmed that that actually was Anri. And yeah, that was actually Takashi with the sunglasses. I didn't know that, but yeah, anyways, insane episode once again. And now it's time to, I'm gonna guess which episode is this, 17 of what, 25? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say that we're gonna probably be going into the final arc. I feel like this is the second to last arc of this season. I feel like there's gonna be now a Yellow Scars arc, and then after that it's gonna be a battle arc of basically just the entire resolution of all three sides battling. That's my guess, but we'll see. But yeah, next up, I feel like we have the Yellow Scars arc, so that's gonna be insane to see what that's gonna be all about. But anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.